It's been a crazy couple of weeks in North Andover. Between the games, the mosquitoes, and the schedule changes, there's been a lot with which to keep up, but we shall endeavor to do just that on this episode of Scarlet Knights SportScene. Hello everyone, and welcome to Scarlet Knights SportScene, the program that puts you in the game with the teams of North Andover High School. I'm your host, Sam Murray. Coming up, highlights, scores, and more from the past weeks in North Andover sports, and we'll start it out with a look at the big game. The Scarlet Knights varsity football team began their 2019 Division II title defense in earnest on Friday, September 13th, as they played host to the Marblehead Magicians. The usual Friday night lights got Friday night off that week as the game was moved to an earlier 4 o'clock kickoff. Concerns over the spreads of mosquitoes carrying the Triple E virus led to this earlier kickoff time, as well as moving of next week's game from North Andover to Cowley Stadium in Lowell. Coming off a close 20-19 scrimmage win the previous week against Methuen, the Knights took to the field looking to put that first entry into the season's win column. We talked to Coach John Dobzinski the day before the game. I'm here at Joe Walsh Stadium in North Andover, where I'm here talking to Coach John Dobzinski of the North Andover High School team. Coach, how you doing?
We're doing great. We're excited for a big opener. I think the kids are ready. It's been a long preseason, longer than usual, 4 weeks. So I think the kids are very excited to kind of compete against somebody other than themselves for once.
So, Coach, you've gone through 3 scrimmages so far, including the 20-19 win over Methuen last week. What have you seen from this group of kids this year so far?
I've seen a lot of growth. We're very young and mostly underclassmen up front, and the first couple of scrimmages we've kind of sputtered a little bit and couldn't really get things going, but I think the third scrimmage is the best football we played in the preseason. You can kind of see the kids gaining confidence more and more in practice, and it's a good attitude, and they're a hard-working group, so luckily we're taking steps forward, making a lot of progress. So, of your players you've seen so far, who's really stood out to you the most? Freddie Gavin, he's a workhorse. I mean, we asked him to do a lot. We're going to be a run-heavy team this year, so he's getting a lot of carries. He plays cornerback on defense, so that's a position where you're involved in tackling, you're involved in coverage, so you're running around all over the place. So he's shown great leadership, good work ethic. We have the other captains. We have Tim Iannarone is a good leader up front. He goes both ways, offense and defense. He's shown a great attitude. Matt Chico, very unselfish. He goes wherever we ask him. We have him at wide receiver. We have him at safety. He plays some corner too. So Mike Defoe, he's been kind of hampered by injuries, but he's back. He's been cleared, so he's excited to go. So we're very excited for all those guys.
Now, have there been any players who, coming into the season, they kind of flew under the radar that you didn't quite expect to make an impact early on, that have really, went above and beyond?
Yeah, I would say younger classman, Chuck Regan. He played JV last year. Right now he's starting on the offensive line. He's made a lot of gains over last year. Landry, Jake Landry's done a great job. He played JV last year. He's playing both sides of the ball. What else we got? We got there's a lot of them, I know that. And Sean Nichols, like I said, he waited his turn. He's a senior, he's a captain, he's got great attitude, a lot of energy, and he's really come on this year so far. So yeah, I mean, I could name a lot of other guys, but those guys are the ones that have kind of jumped off the page for us.
Now, you've gone at it for a couple weeks now. Is there anything you've seen out of this group that's really surprised you so far?
Surprised? We knew that they were a hard-working group. We know that they had a great attitude. They had a great off-season. So when you see kids in the like lifting 3 days a week from March on, I mean, those are the kids that you know that you can count on. You just saw a great presentation. Jake Walensky, he's a 3-sport athlete. I mean, he's a leader. He does whatever the coach asks him, and he's the one I left out. He's been a huge surprise. I mean, he's never played linebacker before, and he's come on and has done a good job there. And on offense, he blocks well at wide receiver, but just an all-around just great kid. You build great programs around kids like that with that attitude. So yeah, we're happy with that.
I asked you earlier in the year about you graduated 19 seniors.
Yep.
So has the game plan really changed, or is it going to be very similar to what we've seen last year?
I wouldn't Yeah, I think he changed, Sam. I think he changed every year. You know, the kids change. So I think we have a great coaching staff. We just try to develop an offense and a defense that plays to the kids' strengths as much as possible. I mean, I love this team. It's definitely different than last year's team. We're very, I'd say we're probably more experienced. Maybe I wouldn't say more athletic, but more explosive maybe. You know, with a 3-year quarterback who was one of the best quarterbacks in the country, I think. You know, you're gonna have to change things a little bit. So. I think we're going to lead more on the run. We're bigger up front, so we're going to use that to our advantage. And we're going to, if we have to throw the ball, you know, we're going to try to make things as manageable as possible for the quarterback. So that's the key difference. More run heavy as opposed to more balanced than we were last year.
Are the expectations for the season still 1-0?
Oh yeah, always high. You know, and you know it's a cliche. We just don't want to look ahead. You know, we don't care like what's going on with Andover or with Central. I mean. If you don't play well in the first game, if you don't put all your emphasis on the first game, then you know, starting out 0-1 is not great. It's an uphill battle the rest of the season. So that's why this is a huge one. So.
All right.
Yeah.
As always, Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm looking forward to tomorrow against Marblehead, September 13th, 4 o'clock kickoff. So be there and be prepared. Now let's take a look at that game between the Scarlet Knights and the Marblehead Magicians.
From Joe Walsh Stadium on the campus of North Andover High School, we're coming your way with another season of Friday night football. In this case, Knights football in the afternoon. Today, the Scarlet Knights kick off the 2019 season as they host the Marblehead Magicians. 2 receivers this side. Jamola looking, he's got a man wide open in the middle. Had one deep and one shallow. Handoff inside to Gavin. Eludes. Oh, beautiful. Slipped right out of several tackles, and I would say he has the pylon. North Andover celebrating. That score evens it up. And it took about a minute and a half. Jamola has the 2 backs in. Hands to to Freddie Gavin. Who else? And he is easily in. Nice block by Jack Roche. There's the kick. Comes to Gavin. Into the middle. He's in the wide open, and Freddie is gone. He's got those knees up. He's pumping his hand, and that is the answer. Freddie Gavin. Hanging out with Coach D. Here's a handoff again. There he goes. And looks like he's gone, but a terrific tackle. Ball. Oh, caught. Number 3 can't be covered. Sean Nichols on the coverage, but 3 is bigger, and the quarterback just threw a perfect ball out there. We need the ball. We need the ball. Breaking out wide, down the sideline, pushed out of bounds, but in the red zone. Discouraging. And the young quarterback takes a knee, and Marblehead came here, couldn't have expected to win against state champs, even though they lost a lot of talent, but they've done it.
The Scarlet Knights led going into the 4th quarter 20-19, but Marblehead was able to tack on that additional score. After that, the defense locked down, and the Magicians came away with the win. As we already mentioned, North Andover's next game against Lowell has to move to Cowley Stadium. This is the 2nd consecutive year the game between the Scarlet Knights and the Red Raiders had to be relocated to Lowell. Last year's game had to be moved as well, as it was scheduled to be played the day after the natural gas disaster here in North Andover. And now, let's take a look back at other sports here in town with the Scarlet Knights scoreboard. Andover girls varsity soccer team started the school year and their fall season on the same day. The Lady Knights got to work on the day after Labor Day against their first opponent, the Methuen Rangers. We have the action for you on our rapid recap.
Good afternoon. We are coming to you today from Walsh Stadium on the campus of North Andover High School, where today the North Andover varsity girls soccer team is going to kick off their home season, and they're going to do it against the Rangers of Methuen High School. And the kick goes across, right in front, headed in, and oh, what a stop! What a stop! And they try and get it over to, I believe that's number 5 again, that's Slayton. Play goes to the outside now, trying across in front, and trying to get it to the, trying to head it ahead, and colliding with the goalkeeper. That's number 21, and it goes off a couple of feet, and a goal! In the action there was Katie Wojcik, number 21. Tried to kick up, couldn't quite do it. Pass goes up, North Andover continuing to attack. Shot goes in, oh! Just off the top of the outstretched hands of Henrik, and then over the crossbar. And the Scarlet Knights are on the move with it once again. Moved ahead. And with it now, that's Gotobed once again. And her kick in. Oh, under the crossbar and a goal. North Andover doubles their lead. Goes to the side. North Andover's there. They try and move it once again, kind of a give and go. And she stops, gets herself some room, kicks it in toward the goals, and that's going to be in. Wow! As North Andover looks to inbound it. Hit out. And here we go. Kick goes in toward the goals, over the head and in. I think I see number 21, so that would be Katie Wojcik. And inbounded there by North Andover as it goes in and in front. Oh boy, and that's going to be in. Final score here from Joe Walsh Stadium in North Andover. The North Andover Scarlet Knights 8 and the Methuen Rangers 0.
The Knights were led in their 8-goal victory by co-captain Olivia Gotobed, who kicked in 2 goals and had a number of additional scoring chances. Katie Wojcik also scored 2 goals for the Knights, while co-captain Katie Sullivan added another. And now, let's change our focus from the pitch to the court as we check out the girls' volleyball team. Though they have a new coach this season, most of the team's cast returned and are aiming to surpass last year's performance. Coach Kristen Augustini shared her thoughts with us recently for this edition of Ask the Coach.
To paraphrase the song, it's a new time, it's a new day, it's a new life, and it's a new coach for the North Andover girls volleyball team. And they're feeling good. A new era in girls volleyball is underway now as Coach Kristen Augustini takes over the coaching reins from veteran coach Veronica Schaefer, who had headed up the Scarlet Knights girls program for the past 19 years. Under Schaefer, who finishes her tenure in North Andover with a record of 222 wins and 136 losses, the Knights made it to the State Division tournament last season. Despite their 3-0 loss to Winchester in the opening round, the Knights enjoyed a successful season. At the end of the year, Coach Schaefer retired, and Coach Augustini was then brought on board from nearby Whittier Tech, where she had spent the past 3 seasons. Coach Augustini told us that she is thrilled to be a part of the North Andover Athletics Department and the volleyball team. She says that, quote, the athletes really make it all worthwhile. Their volleyball knowledge and drive to improve every day is what makes coaching here so rewarding, even in the short time of the early preseason. I am also fortunate to have a truly supportive group of parents. When asked about her challenges for the season, she told us that, quote, this is definitely a learning season, but in the excitement and learning, we definitely want to keep the tradition of excellence within the volleyball program as I get to know the athletes, my assistant coaches, and community. Many of the players who went to the state tournament last season are back this year, as the team has 10 returning seniors. And they're looking to waste no time in trying to get back into and further along in the state tournament. The coach tells us that the team is looking strong and ready, and the players have been working hard on their technique as well as their offensive and defensive systems. Returning seniors Stella Kutu, El Dadiego, Deanna Bosco, Celia Wong, Emma Stott, Caitlin Fox, Laura Farnham, Emily Grant, Caitlin Byrne, and Ava Sapienza are joined by juniors Maddie Sweeney, Kendall Dowdy, Hannah Connolly, and Olivia Byers. Other new faces include sophomore Emma Bosco, the younger sister of senior Deanna Bosco, and freshman Nadine Abdat. This new crew of Lady Knights has won its first 2 matches of the season, downing Masconomet 3-1 and beating Watertown at home 3-0. And this season, they are looking to serve up so much more.
As you saw in that clip, the North Andover girls came out on top in their recent match against Watertown. If you'd like to check out any of their upcoming matches, then stand by as we bring you the Scarlet Knights schedule. The girls' field hockey team also came roaring out of the gates this season, scoring an impressive 5-1 win against Marblehead in the opener. We'll show you what happened in yet another rapid recap.
We'll bring you the opening game today of the season between the Scarlet Knights of North Andover and the Magicians of Marblehead. Back to Rivet. Over to Panos now. Panos, she takes a shot in, and they tried to redirect it in front, just couldn't do it. And they try and pass it in front of the goal, and it's in! That's a goal for the Scarlet Knights! 8 minutes into this one, and they have a 1-0 lead. I guess it's also called a penalty corner. And it's passed right up in front. Here come the North Andover players. Shot goes in, that one's lifted really high, and then bounces and goes in. Took a couple of weird bounces, and it winds up going in. And literally just over a minute after North Andover gets the score. And it is again. She passes over now. Pass back to Rivet. Rivet, shot in, score! That was labeled, that was just a laser. Lexi Rivet there. And so at halftime, the score stands, the North Andover Scarlet Knights 2 and the Marblehead Magicians 1. 15 minutes to go. We're halfway through the second half. Once again, she hits it right to Rivet. Rivet shoots it in and scores! There we go, just from the edge of the circle. Blasted in by Rivet, that is her second goal of the day. With it there's Rivet, pass, look up, and right now there's a race for it. Who's gonna get there first? Looks like it's gonna be number 7. And let's see, taken there by the Scarlet Knights in front. Oh, they try and tap it toward the net. And it's loose now, and trying to chip it in, and that's a goal!
I believe that's Anna Bono who scored that one. 3:20 left. Nice job there. That's Regan once again. Regan tries to chip it ahead, and with it there, oh, Rivet with a shot in the shooting circle. Coming back out, shot back in, and it's a goal! That's another one. A huge win there to start off the season for the North Andover Scarlet Knights. And the final score this afternoon here at the Alexander Farisi Track and Field Complex / Upper Turf Field here in North Andover. Final score, North Andover 5 and Marblehead 1.
On the score sheet, it was dueling Lexies as Lexi Swartz and Lexi Rivet scored 2 goals apiece for the Knights. Anna Bono contributed the other goal against the Magicians. The girls also traveled to Lowell to take on the Red Raiders on Friday, September 13th, and came home with an impressive 8-0 win. While we were not there to capture the Knights' big win, one parent, Ernie Panos, was in the stands to capture the big moments. It's time to roll out our first edition of the Scarlet Knights Family Cam. And that just about wraps up everything from another exciting week in Scarlet Knights sports. Just a reminder, we need volunteers to help produce our sports broadcasts. Whether it is working a camera, running the controls, or channeling your inner sports broadcaster, we are always looking for more help. To find out more, you can visit our new studio at 70 Main Street or reach out to us by emailing camsports@northandovercam.org or give us a call at 978-687-6570. I'm your host, Sam Murray, and thank you for tuning in to Scarlet Knights SportScene, the program that you turn to for highlights, scores, and more.